What are they?
There were once men, great kings of men. Then Sauron the Deceiver gave to them 9 rings of power. Blinded by their greed, they took them without question, one by one, falling into darkness. Now they are slaves to his will. They are the Nazgul, ring wraiths, neither living nor dead. At all times they feel the presence of the ring, drawn to the power of the one. They will never stop hunting you.
So welcome to this second part of my confession. Candlelight Confessions, Candlelight Chat, Volume 2. But anyway, I wanted to set the tone on this second part of my confession, and sort of create an atmosphere of concern, of seriousness about why a person should consider where they're at in life, how they're living their life, to take themselves seriously and give themselves a sense of value for where they're at in life, particularly right now. Really just kind of look where you're at in life and think, just think, watch your steps, consider consider your steps, consider the decisions that you make. I don't know whether or not a belief in hell or a belief in what your ideas of the afterlife might consist of, might be what it is. You may be an atheist, you may be fundamentalist Christian, so operating from that background, which I was acculturated, taught about God and all that stuff with the context of hell. There was a purgatory involved in the Catholic cosmology of things, but I just want to really communicate about the seriousness of this topic, really, as far as introspection, to value yourself, and think about the decisions you make. I know what hunts you. I know. I was very close. I was very close to being trapped, if you will, to being. In fact, I was trapped. In the video, the Candlelight, chat video 1, I talk about going to sleep with this sense of foreboding, with fear, that's how I dozed off that evening. And when I woke up, I was in Mordor, and I was scared. And, I don't, it was, of course, this was a subjective psychological thing, but it was the creator, it was the source of our divine, that spark within me that was putting in contrast, that was basically giving me maybe a theatrical mental trick, if you will, but it was letting me know in a symbolic way where I was at with my life when I woke up that morning. And and I mentioned about a couple things I did to kind of get out of that sort of subjective psychological hell. I mentioned willpower. I mentioned I'd like to mention a little bit more about that. But within the context of the decisions that we make in life and how we live our life, they may not seem to have very much consequence or meaning, or depending on how you've been, how you think about yourself, about life, and I can certainly understand where it's almost like we live in this video game world, this virtual reality where things aren't so important. Life is like you play World of Warcraft, or you play Call of Duty, when you're just constantly blazing away and killing things, and so it desensitizes all of us and to the importance of life. Let me tell you, life is precious. All life is precious, and right now, kind of the way things are taking place, there's life out there right now that have made decisions, some very serious decisions. A very small group of people in this world, planet Earth, have for a long time have controlled things, and they've set things up in a way that wasn't very nice, wasn't very fair to the rest of us that are just kind of at the base of the pyramid. That are we do what we're told basically at the base of the pyramid. We go to church. We believe that saying the same things that everybody else says, that as long as we go to church, and I believe in Jesus, but then we kind of go on and we live our lives, but religion and spirituality, it's really easy not to take it serious. It's in fact, it's set up. This world has been engineered to keep. It's very easy to not take spirituality or your soul or your life when everything's like a video game reality, and life is just bam, bam, bam. But you can, they've sent a lot of us to war. Generation, not so much my generation. I was born in 1969. I didn't grow up with a computer. I didn't get my first computer. I graduated high school in 1987. Fortunately, while I was in high school, one thing that I did do was I took a typing class. And, that, hell, just that typing class, learning the QWERTY, QWERTY keyboard system, and I don't even have to think about it. I can, but that was something I guess served me well later when I finally did, kind of catch the computer buzz. But I didn't really own my first computer probably until the year 2002, 2003. But I took to it. But what attracted me about the whole world of computing was it just blew my mind. First of all, when I figured out how I could download music, I think back in Austin in those days, Galaxy something, there was some kind of file sharing platform that was based here in Austin but anyway, it was great. And then when I could, talk to somebody through internet, what was it, IRC, internet relay chat or whatever, chat with somebody in China, or and just be in these chat rooms of all these metalheads from, like it was SoulSeek. It was SoulSeek. That was the platform, one of the platforms. And man, I have so many memories of just, listening to metal, being in this chat room, this black metal chat room, and just chatting with people from all over the world. It was a whole nother world in and of itself. And the whole time I was just, beside myself with just sheer, I was consumed. I was talking to some people in Turkey, or there was somebody in France, and just, it was incredible. It was a whole nother world. So I understand, about the virtual world and whatnot, but that's not what life is meant to be, the be all end all. At some point, if you're chatting with somebody, say in Nice, in the south part of France, maybe it should occur to you if it's that much of a connection or whatnot that you should go actually into and make travel plans, or somebody should meet in real life. But I don't know, and I'm sure it's happened quite a bit and still does happen. But it seems like there is an agenda where they want to kind of create, give us the virtual reality goggles. I know this metaverse that's coming up, that's going to be kind of like the whole conception of it. The whole idea is to have your virtual goggles and you never leave your house. You can go shopping and you have your avatar. But so anyway, computing in the digital world and digital reality, and taking life seriously, viewing your life as something that's precious, and the decisions that you make can have a long kind of lasting sort of deal, and the reason why I brought that topic up is because our Creator, our divine Creator, this Creator source, it's love. I mean, take something in your life, whether whatever can bring you to tears almost, just think about it. That's whether it's your little brand new kitten, your love for your children, love for books. I'm a bibliophile. That's something that comes to mind. But just think of whatever it is that immediately it brings forth, like it makes your heart. You feel your heart. You feel your emotions. Well, that's our Creator, and it's pure love. The Creator source, the divine, infinite intelligence source of all creation is such a incredible love for all of her creation. Can you imagine like how we've been living on this planet? Like, let's say yeah, sure, you have your bond with your child. You say it's a mother and her daughter, and of course it's part of nature. As the child grows older, the bond, there's like a technique, or there's a dynamic or a process inherent within the whole mother, or the whole parent, sibling, or child leaving the nest. There's a reason why the rebellious phase in children kicks in, and and there's where it started from this very infinite or intimate connection of just pure love. It's just, it must pain the parent to see the child they have these more antagonistic. So anyway, but can you imagine? But that's the way the human race on this planet, a lot of us have been ignoring our Creator, our source. We've been these other substitutes, the digital world, the entertainment, all these things that have taken this place of real life, and it's blinding us to the Creator source. And can you imagine that this incredibly, just go and consider how precious life is. I can share this with you. Like William Blake has this poem, Infinity Within a Grain of Sand. I'm going to tell you, since I've kind of gone on my journey and had my soul connections and ladder of lights turned on, life has been incredibly beautiful. And I have a lot of things that I can occupy my time with, but I'm going to tell you, there's not much that doesn't occupy my time except thinking about this, where we're all at as human beings, and just really trying to catch up and see what's been going on in this world, and where we're at with our with our development, with what our future as a humanity is. But so this is all very important to me. But just the Creator, the beauty of creation of this planet. I'm telling you, for example, there was one. I usually get up. I'm up pretty early. I don't sleep. I've never really slept much at all. The military, when I was 17 years old, they kicked my ass, and I learned how to get by on no sleep, and just, and it was all willpower. And anyway, but I'm up usually, and and especially since I've kind of had my engines, my spiritual soul engines turned on and activated. But I usually go out in the woods, and there was one morning when there was a lot of dew on the grass, right? And I started noticing like where spiders will get in and sort of like in between twigs, and they've got their webs. And what happens is in the morning, the dew will collect, the moisture will collect in those spider webs, and the sun. And when I kind of noticed this, the way the sun rays were coming in, it was like there were like this gossamer web of like brilliant jewels, gems. That the way, because each of these like little dew droplets that were caught within this spider web, they were like prisms. They were the light was coming in and separating and reflect, and it was just a bouquet of these gorgeous, vibrant, brilliant, sun colors, and that was like, it's just one moment that you can experience the beauty of this creation. But you know what? We've just turned our backs on it, and these things that our egos, the mind of man has made, substitutes. Our computers, we're all on our phone. I mean, look at everybody in their smartphones. They're not paying attention to the beauty that's around them, and it's broken our heart. It's broken the Creator's heart. Can you imagine that? And we're the, human beings throughout the galaxy. If you have an awareness of, we're not the only life in this whole omniverse. You're gonna know that. You're gonna know that very soon. There's other life out there and other worlds and other planets, and they've been watching us, and they've been watching us since we started fooling around with atomics, and certainly since that crew in Switzerland, CERN, Switzerland, were making the Hadron Collider and basically trying to what someone who's learned through raising their Kundalini energy and their third eye, that's the gateway to all the universe. Quantum physics and quantum psychology, quantum spirituality, quantum magic, what have you. But so what was happening in CERN, Switzerland, was in the Hadron Collider, they were, through science, through man's ego, were attempting to make dimension portals open in this world. And I mean, whether or not that's something that's in your kind of area of knowledge or whatnot, I don't know. But what I'm trying to tell you is we've been breaking our Creator's heart. I'm telling you, the source of all this beautiful life, we've been breaking her heart, and so what I'm getting at is like wherever in this candlelight Candlelight Confession 2. Excuse me. I don't recommend this at home, kids. It's just some stupid hemp oil stuff that I put in here. But anyway, take things seriously, like the decisions where you're at in life. I mean, look, I don't know. I mean, I tried to play something kind of dramatic intro with this Lord of the Rings, and I've been a fan. And I read those books when I was a kid. I don't want to invoke that fire and brimstone, like that's what's turned a lot of people away from religion. It was just this sort of Pavlovian conditioning about if you don't do this, with the Mosaic Law, the Ten Commandments, if you don't do this, you're going to hell. You're going to hell. You're going to hell. Well, people don't take it serious after a while. But see, that's all been was by design to be like that, to kind of get people to exactly where they're at in this world and not see the soul as real, and to think that the only reality to this world and spirituality and life was their computers and their smartphones, and everything becomes cerebral and egotistic, And I'm going to tell you, like, if you follow along what takes place, like in the world of people like astros, physicists, and people like NASA, they're constantly they're scanning and documenting things in the heavens and out there, and it's almost like I mean, the more it's all exponential, right? Technology, the more that we're able to create more powerful instruments of observation and documentation and investigation, the more we're able to see. And it's almost like God is like the creator is just fucking with the minds of men. It's like, because there's only so far that physical science has gone, and really all physical science can do is just make more toys to realize, more tools of investigation to realize how limited we are. We can't do the things that the creator has done. And it's like the ego of man, it's only gotten us so far, and where it's gotten us right now is like very close to losing it all, to losing our souls. And I'm gonna tell you, I mentioned about going to bed fearful. I mentioned the waking up in this subjective hell. I mentioned about calling my mother and how I, through willpower, I was able to kind of get out of that. And when I say willpower, what involved it involved a lot of meditation, like all day long. I mean, there's a video by Sadhguru where it was basically a mantra, it was on YouTube, and it was an 11-hour and 11-minute video that just repeated this mantra, and it was a complex mantra as they go, and it wasn't like a simple Om Mani Padme Om. There was quite a bit more to it, and it was well done, and it had different parts to it, and there was like a flute that would, and anyway, but the title of the video basically, and the intent of the mantra was to melt your ego consciousness, and it was meant to melt a person into divine, to get through all of the ego and help a person to realize how incredibly much a gift it is to be alive, and how much we've been missing out on and whatnot. But anyway, that mantra, that 11 hours, I know I did it for hours straight at a time, and then there were times when I had to like do kind of whatever, drink a Dr. Pepper or something. But it basically, it got me out of that subjective hell. It connected the things up, and what ended up taking place basically was this right here. Let's see if you can see that. So that's basically the pyramid. At the base of it is the third dimension. It's level of ignorance, and then as you saw, as the pyramid goes to the apex, it reaches the omega point, or God consciousness. It's violet in color. So here's what happened with me, and how I escaped that subjective hell, and why I'm making this video and trying to share why our lives are important, why everyone should take themselves seriously, and their spirituality and their soul and seriously. What happened through the repetition of the mantra and the and I was doing other things. I was hatha yoga. I was doing postures, but essentially, I felt, and I've never studied Kundalini yoga. I know what chakras are. I've never had any kind of subjective awareness of what chakras. I know what chakras are. I've read about them. I mean, I can regurgitate intellectually I can tell you what they're all about, right? But it's all intellectual knowledge. But what happened for me was towards the end, I know I watched that entire 11 hours of that mantra video of Sadhguru. It's Yogeshwaraya Mahadevaya. But it was this entire, like, this, it was incredible. But I mean, at some point, this power inside of me erupted, like, and this is not, I'm not like, this wasn't anything in my mind. This was, I felt this. It was like entire, like a jet, a power, a column of force. It shot from my, down here all the way up through here. And it was, I mean, it was incredible. Like I didn't know what was going on. I mean, when I finally got it, where I wasn't like, I mean, I was still cognizant of what was taking place, but it floored me for a while. I couldn't move. I was just feeling this incredible power, and I went outside. Once it kind of, I got a handle on it a little bit, and the sunlight and everything started triggering something else. And I mean, I stayed outside for a while, and I came back in, and somehow when I got back inside from coming back outside, and after experiencing this column of force of power coming up from, my what's called the Dantian, or the Hara, the Japanese call it the Hara, that's where this originated from, the force, and it just blew me apart. I mean, but when after coming back outside and coming back in, and just, I was freaking, I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea. It was, I mean, but it wasn't in a bad freaking out. It was incredible. It was an incredible experience, but I just didn't know what was going on. But finally, I was able to kind of get relaxed, and at some point, subjectively, all I recall is my, like the color violet, indigo violet, purple, what have you, just all of a sudden in my mind's eye was this like flower, like this violet flower, laser like flower or something that was just, I mean, I was seeing it in my mind's eye. It wasn't a hallucination, so to speak. It was just, like I said, all this was incredibly powerful, and I had no idea, but this is the culmination of the subjective hell in the morning, falling asleep, time triggers, reading the book by Patricia Corey. This is the next day through Willpower, and like I said, I called my mother, and I was scared when I was talking to her on the phone, and I was telling her where I was at, and I mentioned the devil to my mother. I'm telling you. So, and my mother said, she said, get reinforcements. And she told me, she said, Mark, my mother, God bless her soul, Lillian McGuire, she said, Mark, I don't even say his name. I don't even say the devil's name. I would soon spit on the ground than say devil's name or Satan. Like, basically what she was letting me know is that she'd ever fucking waste any time thinking about that bullshit. She focuses on what's been fun. But see, in religion, we're constantly hammered with, going to hell, Satan going to hell. So it's part of our inner landscape, our spiritual, it's in that. It's in those images. And God communicates to us in images and, intuition and things like that. But I'm telling you, my life from, the morning I woke up in the subjective hell, and through the willpower I mentioned, through speaking with my mother, through the mantras of Sadhguru, through that entire day, just listening to that, and I learned the mantra. I learned it. I was chanting. I was going along with it at some point, and then but I was very intense with it because I was afraid, and that's where I was coming from. It was all very serious because I wanted to get out of that subjective traps of hell where I was at in that morning. I'm telling you, that's where I was at, and this is how I was released from it. And I'm telling you, I know what haunts you. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, if if life is just all, great unicorns for you right now, then great, I don't know. And possibly somebody's gonna, if anybody sees this video, they're gonna probably, either think I'm a total Looney Tune or what, but I'm trying to offer subjectively and without as much, cloaking this in any kind of esotericism or, mystery or anything like that. But, my experience, come to find out, that's basically what happened as I've learned and studied. And, like I said, I had no idea this was going to happen, but this is what changed my life. And like I said, that image of this flower, of this violet laser flower shooting out of my inside my head, shooting out of my head, was just pure, bliss. It made everything okay. It made everything better, and I haven't been the same since then. And I haven't been the same. Thank Creator for it. I'm glad I'm where I'm at in life now, and I really hope that, all life is precious. I hope everyone, whomever watches this video, can understand that and really try to take themselves and their spirits seriously. And just anything that brings, emotion to you, or just, anything that you can connect with yourself, something, you don't want to lose, you don't want to lose these things that, I don't know, you don't want to lose what can be important to you in this world, there's so much, and, just try to connect with yourself and take it all seriously, with, our Creator loves us. And the things that we've been kind of like taught to believe, turn our intellectual mind, rational mind. All of these things that I've talked about, to me at least, are very real. But when you kind of open your investigation up, or cast your net a little wider, you're going to see there's other people that talk about this same stuff. And I don't know. Hopefully somebody can, take something out of this. Whether or not, if anything, then just please don't call the mental health people on me. Okay. God bless you. If anybody listened to this video all the way through, God bless you, and I hope you have a great experience. Namaste.